Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are doing really well. Today I'm going to be back in my favorite world of Brindleton Bay making a tiny home cabin set back on the Dachshunds Creek lot, which is one of those two lots back in the corner that are kind of up against the hillside. I absolutely love these two lots. You've probably seen them. If you've been a subscriber for my channel for a while, you know that I use these lots a ton, but I just can't help it. They're so perfect. But anyway, I was thinking of what I wanted to build for you guys, and I saw this picture on Pinterest of this sort of little house tucked away in the woods that had a roof in the front that was sort of long on one side going all the way to the ground, and then the other side was a little bit shorter, and I decided I wanted to try to recreate that as sort of like a challenge for me, and boy was it. You're gonna see me fiddle with the roof a lot, but I'm really kind of happy with how it turned out. Yeah, it was something different, and it was something that gave me a bit of a challenge, which is always fun. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. Again, I do not have Outdoor Retreat yet. I have been watching it like a hawk on the PlayStation Store for it to go on sale so that I can justify buying it, but it's the one that I'm wanting the most right now just because I'm in such a mood to create cabins. It's where I live. It's extremely hot, and it has been extremely hot for several weeks now, and we still have several weeks to go, but fall is right around the corner, and I just cannot wait for fall, winter, all of that stuff. So I don't know if you've noticed, but like several of my past few builds have been set in the fall in the Sims world, which again, that's just what I'm feeling. That's what's inspiring me right now. So that's what I'm going to build. But come fall and come winter, you're going to see so many seasonal builds from me. I cannot wait. But you're seeing me work a little bit on the exterior. I decided to go with that sort of brick siding that is not necessarily perfect. Like a lot of the bricks that we have, it's perfect rectangles the entire way around. This one has a lot of mortar showing, which I thought was really cool and kind of matched the vibe that I was going for. I do imagine that the sim that lives here is a single sim. I've actually already created him, which is really funny. I decided to, before I even started editing this video, I was just, playing for fun. So I decided to build a sim that would live here. His name is Emmett, and he's absolutely precious. I would love to feature him in something. He's so cute, but it's a new aspiration, I think, for the console. It's like an archaeologist student or researcher or something like that, which is really cool. And I've wanted to do that storyline for like a long time. So I decided to give that to him. He lives by himself out here in the woods. He has his little laptop and just kind of works away, and is very much like a loner type sim. But he's so cute. He's got little glasses, and I'll show you Emmett eventually. I plan on playing around with him for a long time. I was having so much fun the other day playing around with his storyline and letting him interact. But anyhow, that's who I pictured while I was building this. I did plan on making it available for two sims, but it ended up not being large enough. This house is extremely small, and I probably could have done a much better job at the floor plan. I don't know what it worked at the time, and then when I started to go in the bathroom and when I started to play test it, I realized that it is a little bit too small. Now, I'm going to say this again. I get several questions from people asking if they can download my builds. I do play this on the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 4 does not have access to the online gallery, which is so unfortunate. I have seen so many builds that I would like to download and place in the world and play with, and unfortunately, I just can't do that. I can't even look at them as a Sims player, which is unfortunate. But hopefully, the PlayStation 4 will get that feature eventually. But for now, you cannot download these and you cannot play with them, which is really annoying. But I do hope they give you all inspiration to build your own, at least, even if you can't download them to play. But anyway, so it's not necessarily important that I have them to where they can be played specifically because you all won't be downloading them. But anyhow, I do like to be able to play with them myself, so that's important to me at least. But I have moved inside, and I do start with the kitchen in this little corner area. It's sort of like an L-shaped kitchen. I don't have room for an island or anything like that, but I am really loving using these Jungle Adventure refrigerator and stove. I've used them in several builds lately, but I just think they're so cool, and they come in like such good colors, and they're just a lot of fun. But I decided to use that gingham swatch for the back of like sort of like a backsplash type of thing. I think it's really, really cute. I was going to go for that dark brown, but I think the gray works a little bit better, especially contrasting with the dark woods in the cabinets. But again, using those Jungle Adventure cabinets, they're so great. Oh my goodness. I'm again using those for the foreseeable future. But just putting a few little clutter items here and there. This house is full of red accents. I started with the door. I was going to make it green, but I decided to go with red. I've not used red for a long, long time. The very, very first build on this channel, I made sort of like a red accented little house for an elderly sim, and so I decided to use that same kind of vibe in this. However, I think the decoration in this one is a lot better than my very first build, but I will link it below in case you're curious. But just kind of going through and finding some clutter items that have like little red accents and trying to figure out what to do with that corner, which we'll get to that in a minute. Putting a little floating shelf above the stove, and then I'm gonna put that red and black salt and pepper shaker and a couple of like little spices and things like that to sit up there. I really, really like that. And I put the cookbooks on the refrigerator. I picked the swatch with the red facing outward and made it to where it looks like a red accent. And then putting all the little clutter items on that corner shelf for me to place them. I used the apples, which is something that came with Cool Kitchen stuff. No. Yes? No, it didn't. I can't remember what stuff pack that came with, but I love using that item. I also love using that open book. I've used it pretty much in every build since console got that update. It is such a great item. And then put that little rug in there. I thought that really fit the color scheme really well. And then you're going to see me move on to try to figure out this entryway. Now, I was going to use that big, like that thing from Laundry Day, and then this one from Seasons, and I just couldn't get it to, I just couldn't get it to work, so you will see me get rid of that. I was able to place a small round table this week without having the lights go off, so God bless, we're moving up. But I do pick that little round table, and then I go with these, I don't end up going with those Seasons chairs. I end up switching them to the more rustic sort of like old-fashioned cabin chairs, and I go with the light wood to kind of contrast all the dark that I've got going on. But there you see me take out that sort of organizer, and then I end up going with this shelf and like wicker basket sort of type thing. I don't use it very often. It came with Laundry Day. A lot of times it doesn't necessarily fit the space that I'm trying to do, but it fit perfectly between the cabinets and the front door. So I decided to do that and put a few little clutter items around and about, like I did some books, and I used those greeting cards that we got at the Seasons. I really, really like that item, and I don't use it very often, so I thought it worked to kind of have it up there on the shelf. And also that little dog statue. I use it a lot. I realize that I do, and I don't know why I like it so much. I just feel like it really fits. And then I also see by the front door, that red flower hanger. I think that also came with Seasons. I really, really like that item. It comes in some really, really great colors. And then I put the lemonade pitcher on the little table right there and some artwork on the wall. And that's pretty much it for the kitchen and dining room. It's not really a dining room. It is just one big room. But then I put that chair from Cats and Dogs in that perfect red color. And then I was going to put a little entertainment center right here. I think I end up going with that little hutch right there from Laundry Day. I really like the colors that comes in. I use it, again, pretty much all of my builds, but it's so great. And a little television, and then a little floating shelf up above just for some knickknacks. And that's pretty much all I have room for in here. Now, when I did playtest this with my sim, Emmett, he had a lot of trouble moving around in this room. He was able to work completely in the kitchen. That was fine. He was able to sit down at the dining table and eat. However, he was not able to sit in the chair. He could get to the bathroom, he could get to his bedroom, no problem, but he was not able to sit in the chair. Does anyone know like what would be blocking that? Is it the television? Like, it's a little bit far. And I put this lamp that I put here pretty much, kind of tucked away. So I wasn't exactly sure what was inhibiting him from doing that, but let me know in the comments if you know for sure. And I realized once I was completely happy with the exterior, of course, I always make this mistake. I need to do my floor plans before I'm completely happy with the exterior. I did not have any room for anything in this bathroom, let alone a toilet or a sink. So I extended it out into the bedroom a little bit. And plus, if you notice, it's inside the chimney, but we won't talk about that. But I put the shower in that sort of L section, and then I put a couple mirrors and a toilet right next to the door. Now, unfortunately, your sim will not be able to use the shower and the toilet at the same without moving one of them, which was real fun during gameplay. I moved a few things around when I started playing around with this house, but it's not perfect, but it's extremely cute, and I was really happy with how it turned out. Bathrooms are not my favorite thing to do. I find them kind of annoying, actually, so I wasn't too fussed about the bathroom. I'd much rather do kitchens and bedrooms and things like that. But moving on to Emmett's little bedroom, I picked that, I think it's a base game bed with the red plaid comforter on it. I thought that worked absolutely perfectly. and a dark wood end table and a little lamp. And again, I didn't have too much room to put anything in here, but I do put a couple of little clutter items on his bedside table, some books and maybe a journal. I can't exactly remember, and then I went with this sort of like tall chest of drawers type of thing. You'll see me find that here in a minute, just trying to find a rug that was going to work out. I was going to go for that smaller red rug, but it was sort of like a berry red and it just wasn't jiving with the other red tones in here. And I was of course going to use that perfect red closet, but it was too large. So I went with that sort of highboy cabinetry in there, and I thought that kind of fit the vibe of the house too. Not too bad. And then putting a couple things of artwork around, and then you're going to see me give him a guitar. I thought that was kind of nice, and guitars are very easy, like skill building objects to kind of just kind of place in corners if you're low on space. So that's kind of my go-to now. I've put guitars in the last couple of builds I've done actually. But yeah, just putting a couple little plants in there and a couple more things to make this bedroom look a little bit more homey. It's not my favorite tiny house bedroom that I've ever done. I feel like I've done better in the past. I don't know. I was kind of stumped on this because I knew I was going to put a male sim in here and I wasn't sure how to make it look, I don't know, good. Anyway, it turns out fine, and I think it's a sweet room, but that's pretty much the interior of the house completely done. So now I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to kind of make this house look like it's supposed to be in the middle of this beautiful snowy forest, and it just looks so cool. I got to use so many cool evergreen trees, but just making a little porch right here, put a little porch light out, and doing some terrain paint to make some shadow, and you're going to see me put in a few bushes and a couple of flowers. I didn't go too crazy. I did use those like unkept bushes, though, from base game. I really like those. I don't use them well enough, but I like that they're so tall and skinny. It makes them really easy to like tuck in small places. But then I put, I think I put a hedge in here and maybe a few other flowers. And again, I always forget about keeping the foundation low until you've already placed your flowers. And one of these days I will remember. But yeah, just putting a couple of those red bushes. I thought that was really nice to put the red in there with the red front door and the other red accents that I've got going on. But I do decide to double that skinny bush and then put another one on the other side. And then I think maybe a couple more flowers and I'm set. Yeah, redoing the stairs and then putting a few more things in. And then I decided to go on with the trees. I love using these evergreen trees. I do not use them enough. I really feel like I need granite falls to like really appreciate them because sometimes I don't know. I feel like the evergreens don't necessarily fit everywhere in each of these Sims worlds. They fit really well in these two Brindleton Bay lots that are my favorites. So I was really happy to be able to use those and then put a few other sort of trees in there like the aspens and other things like that. I thought it looked really, really sweet. And you'll see in the screenshots, I love how it looks in the snow. It's so pretty. It's so cozy. Just makes me feel really happy. But I didn't go too crazy with the rest of the lot. I wanted it to seem like it was kind of tucked away from the road. And then you're going to see me put a bit of shadowing and some grass around and about. And that's pretty much the end of this build. So I really appreciate you all watching. Let me know any suggestions that you have in the comments. Did you like this build? Did you not like this build? Let me know. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.